Hello, everybody. My name is Kenton DeYoung, and I'm sitting here with my co-hosts, Christina Coetzee and Dylan Fairman.
Yeah.
And this is a Christmas Patreon special of Unsolved Canadian Mysteries.
Yay.
Whoop whoop.
So, Christina, how you been?
I've been good. How are you?
I'm good. I like the outfit.
Thank you. I like your outfit.
Thank you.
I'm Santa's little helper.
I'm dressed up as Santa, but we have someone else also dressed up as Santa.
I'm movie accurate Santa.
You look like the guy from
Santa?
what is it? The one with the train.
Polar Express?
Yeah. He has like a dark ruby jacket on in that one.
Oh, really?
I think so.
That movie's
Look at
so
you.
creepy. Have you seen Polar Express, Christina?
Yes.
Uh,
Well, how was your week?
that was great.
It's good. Good. I just saw you guys a couple days ago when we did the last episode about
What? Oh, yeah, the coffin.
yes, Coffin's coffin.
Yeah.
Coglin's coffin.
Coglin's coffin, yeah.
Let us know on Patreon, listeners who we value and appreciate so much what you thought of that episode, because it hasn't quite out yet, but when you hear this one, it will be out.
For sure.
Yeah.
For shizzle.
So please let us know.
So right now, there's a strike happening in Canada. Canada Post is on strike. Usually, this time of year, kids write a letter to Santa with the postal code HOHOHO.
Yeah.
And Santa writes back. I don't know what he does. He gets the letters anyway. But he can't get the letters right now because of the strike.
You know what? I think Santa should get on with email, maybe. You know?
There should be like an HOHOHO at northpole.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
.ca.
a fax machine.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
I like it. He can send like gifts over email. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to modernize. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, or get an OnlyFans.
There probably are OnlyFans Santa accounts. Haven't looked into it, but I'm gonna bet on it.
Interesting.
Let's make it a game.
Are you ready for tonight's story?
We are. I am, at least.
Yep.
This one, when I first started researching it, it's like, oh, this would be a fun one, right? Oh, like, whatever. No one's going to take it seriously.
Here we go.
The lights just flicker.
Yeah.
Spooky.
So then I started collecting
Damps.
documentation, resources, researching this more, right? Sources. And I had quite a pile of stuff to read through. And I was
wow.
like, okay. When I got out of it, I was thinking, I don't know if I feel the same way about this anymore. And now I feel a little more convinced. So I popped the question up on Reddit because I was looking for more information about this. And somebody said that what I was talking about was fantasy. It's
Ooh.
not real. So I
Ooh.
told him, we're going to tell people that on the podcast. That
Wow.
Some guy on Reddit said there was fantasy.
Wow.
Now we're enthralled, Kenton.
Disgraceful.
So I dropped a knowledge bomb on him with my stuff I found. And as I was writing it, I realized I sound crazy. I sound absolutely insane. So I don't know where I stand on the story anymore. At first I was like, this is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, this is totally real. And I'm like, you have lost it, Kenton. You got to take a break. So we'll go through this and you can stop me anytime and we can talk about it, where we're going with this.
Stop. Okay.
Okay. So the story starts off around the year 1080.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, this is Canada, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, here we go.
So there was a Viking named Eric the Red.
Ooh.
And Eric the Red had to leave Iceland because he committed homicide. He was banished. So he went to Greenland and he established the Greenland colony. Eric the Red then had a son named Leif Erikson. That's the last name. Who?
Leif Erikson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They were so easy back then.
So easy.
So
Yeah.
easy. Leif Erikson then went back to Sweden, Norway, wherever. And while over there, he converted from Viking, paganism, Norse religion, what do you want to call it, to Christianity.
Nice.
He and then his other people on the ship then were heading back over to Greenland when they got caught off because of a storm or from wind or just lost direction and ended up in a new place.
Ooh.
They called this place Vinland.
Vinland.
Like Wineland, but Vineland.
Wow.
Yeah. And they wrote about it, and when they got back home, they told people about it, and then about 300 years later, they made the Viking saga the writings, and they talked about this. It's kind of secondhand information because it took a couple hundred years to get it on paper, but there's some questions about what he saw and what they did.
Of course.
So while Leif Erikson was in Vinland, he encountered some people that they called the Skraelings. Now, Skraelings, he has a description of them. He called them short in height, with threatening features and tangled hair on their heads. Their eyes were large and their cheeks broad.
My God.
Sounds like Christina.
I was just gonna say.
Well, they call them Skraelings, and there's been a lot of discussion that perhaps they ran into the Thule people, or there's thought that they might have ran into the Thule people, because the Thule people also had writings about these giants with beards who came over the ocean and kind of described the Vikings. So there's documentation on both sides about their contact.
Wow.
Which is huge, right?
That is.
But for a long time now, they've said the Skraelings were the Thules, or another indigenous group they found in Vinland. And Vinland, for the audience who does not know, is Canada. Where exactly is up for debate. Some people think it's Labrador, some people say it's Baffin Island, some people say maybe it's more stateside, but it's somewhere along the coast.
Right.
Because Baffin Island is not that far away from Greenland, so it's it's possible. For a long time, they're saying that the Skraelings were the Thule people, or another indigenous group, but the description of them as being kind of short could be because the Norse were very tall, or it could be because people were very short. Mm-hmm. Well, in 2008, a study was done looking into this word Skraelings and what it could be, and they determined it was an Old Norse translation of another word, of a Greek word, because apparently the Norse were well familiar with the Greeks and some of their connections. And the word that they translated was pygmies. Now, is this right, that pygmies means like a dwarf from India? Is that right?
I don't know.
Okay.
The pygmies? Yeah.
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 Okay.
I've seen videos where people they go and see the pygmies.
Okay.
That's legit.
Okay. So they're saying that what they encountered in northern Canada would have been some kind of dwarf.
Okay.
Okay.
When you were talking about, sorry, you said Skraelings.
Yeah.
So when you described them to me, it came to my mind, there's this, in Greek we call them kalikadzari. And I think we've talked about this, me and you. But they're like these small creatures, like very short and ugly and whatever, and kind of like what you described. And they were like kind of I don't remember exactly 100% the story, because there's different kind of like origins and things like that. But they're the opposite of elves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anti-elves?
Like, like Santa's elves?
Yeah.
They are like the opposite. They'll go and steal kids' candy and stuff like that.
Kind of like a goblin.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
a gremlin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like that. But anyway.
Well, so the reason I fell down this rabbit hole is that I was looking into elves in the Arctic, and this is kind of the first thing, is that they found these little people. But then I thought, as I was researching this, thinking, are there not elves in Norse culture? And there are. There's dark elves and light elves. If you've played God of War, you'll know those are main characters in the series. So I'm thinking, so they have elves. So whatever they encountered was not an elf, or at least not a Norse elf. Mm-hmm. So they encountered something small. Maybe it was, I will not pronounce the word.
Kalikadzari.
Yes, perhaps that's what they saw.
Maybe.
What did they see, Ken?
A kalikaze.
Yeah!
Damn it.
Pretty good.
Now, one of the pieces of evidence that the Skraelings were pygmies came from a 1569 map of the world. So very early map of the world. And it was in such a way that back then, like now we kind of have the middle of the earth being like the Greenwich, England, and like and Africa, and then the kind of like around, right? That's kind of the middle. Depends on the map you look at, but that's kind of we have in North America. That's the middle. Mm-hmm. Well, back when they were drawing maps by hand and they didn't know everything yet about how the globe looked, a lot of the places when they started the map it was like Israel was in the middle, and other continents kind of spread out from it, because it's kind of like the middle of, like, we have Europe over here and Asia over here and Africa over here and India over there. Right. So it's kind of a good middle spot. And on where they have the North Pole, the approximate location of the North Pole, they said that this is where the pygmies lived, like what the Norse found. Mm. So even 600 years after Leif Erikson wrote about them, they're put on the map. This is where the little people are. In the 17th century, around 1630, 1631, Captain Fox and his crew were going through northern Canada, kind of marking where they were going, kind of going like an expedition kind of thing. And they ended up near Southampton Island. And Southampton Island is not that far away from Baffin Island. So Captain Fox and his crew got to Southampton Island, and what they found was a series of stone, I don't want to say caskets, but they were stone burial sites. Okay? Stone wall, stone thing on top. And some of them were kind of old. So or maybe they looked inside and broke them. I'm not sure how they found what was inside of them, right? I'm not one to know that.
Yeah.
But the letters they talked about said that they looked inside and found inside of these stone caskets were people about the size of 4 feet high, adult. I don't know how they determined they were adults, but they were buried with stone weapons, bone arrows, bone bows, and that kind of thing. Now, Southampton Island, like I said, is just kind of south of Baffin Island. And I forgot to mention this. In Baffin Island, in 1977, they found this little wooden statuette of a man. And on the man, on his chest, was a cross. So it could have been, were these Vikings that the statuette is drawing, or is it someone happened to have like a thing on his chest, right? But they dated this to be around the year 1000 as well. And it's made from wood, like North American wood. So it was either someone carved it to remember who these people were, or it was they carved it and gave it to them, or something like that. So when they encountered the Skraelings, I want to say it was around Baffin Island, because we have evidence that they were in Baffin Island around the year 1000 because of this little statuette. And Southampton is just south of Baffin Island, so it's approximate same location. So now we have two very different sources about 700 years apart talking about little people in the same area.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't know of each other, right? Because they
didn't have social media.
Captain Fox wouldn't know what the Vikings were talking about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I got this quote here from the Captain Fox's diary, and like, because it's out there now, because it's been so long, it's just kind of public domain. But it's really tough to read because it was old, and I don't know, they typed it out or scanned it and it's kind of broken up. But I like this part. They described what they found. Said the longest corpses was not above 4 foot long, 2 with their heads laid to the west, and goes on about that. And it says they seem to be people of small stature. And then as like an afterthought, he says, because he's on an expedition, he's trying to explore the new world, he's paid to do this, right? He says, God send me better for my adventures than these, because he's like, wow, this is what I found with small people. Great.
That's it.
God, send me something better.
Come on.
Lame.
So we'll take a quick pause from Baffin Island area, and we'll hop to the other side of the country to the Mackenzie Mountains.
Ooh.
The Mackenzie Mountains kind of straddle the border between the Yukon and Northwest Territories. This is the same area where Nahanni National Park is. And that's an episode we covered a long time ago.
Yeah, we did.
So I was surprised to find out yet another Nahanni National Park mystery. When people started settling in this area, brought in by the gold rush or other false gold rushes in the area, and they encountered the Inuit tribes in the area, they were told stories of some dwarves that lived in the Mackenzie Mountains. They say here, fur trader Poole Field described these creatures as little men in the mountain that are supposed to be about 4 feet high at the most, and have fine living places in the heart of the mountain, and are especially strong and wise, who come out occasionally and capture and there here means like the Dene First Nations people, capture their women for wives, in some cases making the father of the girl they have taken a medicine man in return for the girl.
Wow.
So these dwarves come down from the mountain and steal the women, and occasionally will make the husband or the father a medicine man for their loss. Oh my god. Weird, right?
Very weird, but very normal for that time, I guess.
But for the Dene to tell people that, like, that sounds like something you hear like a Middle Earth kind of story, like a Tolkien would say that kind of thing. Yeah. But for the Dene, who had no like reason to make up this lie, right? Like, right. There's nothing to gain from this. No.
How about a whole hour being talked about on a podcast?
Yeah, that's what they were
that's what they wanted.
Thinking about.
Oh. That's what they wanted.
Yeah. We're going to be famous for this.
Yeah.
When I said there's like a lot of research about this, it's been like seems like every 50 years someone writes a book about this.
Wow.
So like here we have 1964, John J. Hunningham recounts an old tale legend where the Clutony, which is, I think, Inuit for little men, who lived on mice, which they secured with small bows and arrows in the tall grass, and sometimes befriended men. They also enjoyed a reputation for making fun. So they're kind of like little people who just have a good time. Mm-hmm. Sounds like elves.
Me.
Yeah, sounds like you. Sure. He then goes on, and this is like, I was like, is this guy on crack? Like, honestly, in warfare, these small beings helped to bring up wind and cold that paralyzed the enemy. In size, a dwarf reached about the height of a caribou jaw. I'm assuming that means the caribou as it's alive, not just like the height of the jaw. Okay. One such being could pack only about half a pound. Despite the tendency of dwarves to steal women, people laughed when they spoke of the antics of these little people. There's a little report similar in northern Ontario of little people who inhabited the rocky cliffs along rivers. One of these paper collections he has was published in September of 1930, but it talked about an event that occurred in June of 1911. So it's already 19 years later, and now he's reading it 60-some years after the fact as well. In this story, a group of northern explorers are 730 miles back then, north of the North Pole. I don't know where that could possibly be.
No idea.
And I don't even know if that's like, if they are going towards Baffin Island, they've gone up and back, or if they're going towards Russia, I don't know.
Right.
North of the North Pole, I'm not sure. But anyway, as they're traveling...
Isn't north of the North Pole south?
I would think so.
Bum, bum,
It has to be south.
Yeah.
So that makes absolutely no sense, Kenton.
I know.
That's like saying up is down and shrimp is jumbo.
Well, we don't know. This person wrote about it. We should do a seance with yours.
Oh my god.
Well, when I was reading this, I was thinking, okay, the 1930s, I know from previous articles or previous mysteries we talked about, there was a trend in the 20s and 30s to do what they called yellow journalism, where they write about something that didn't necessarily happen. Like we had that village that disappeared a few episodes ago. We had the dinosaurs a few episodes ago. That's all about the same time when the story was published. So I'm thinking, okay, I know what's going on right now with journalism in history. We'll see how the story goes. So they are 730 miles north of the North Pole, whatever that means. And as they're going through the snow, they see some little footprints. And they follow the footprints to a hole in the ice. They said they had some dogs with them, sled dogs. So they sent one of the dogs down into the hole to see what they could find. And the dog started digging into the hole and then came back yelping. Something had hurt its nose.
Ooh, that's not good.
After some time, a little man crawled out of this hole in the ground. He was about 3.5 feet tall, very thin, very frail, wore kind of small, tattered clothing. He was mad, pissed off. Dog was digging in his den, right?
Yeah.
And he starts shouting at these people, yelling at them, but in a language that the Inuit don't know. So if they don't know it, the explorers would also have no idea what's going on. So somehow they convinced this little man to calm down, and the little guy then said something into the hole behind him, and out came 26 more little people.
Wow.
So then the explorers and the Inuit and these little people, they sat around and they had some food and they drank and had a good time, and then they left.
Wow. That was it.
Yeah.
They just had a good time with these people that they have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
They're little. Like,
Just had a good time with them and they left.
I feel like if I sent my dogs into a hole and they come back yelping, I would be terrified.
Yes.
And then a little man shows up screaming at me in a different language.
Yeah.
I would be running away, not drinking with him and having fun.
Yeah. So that made me think, is this story real, right? There's a few questionable ones with that one, like the location, kind of, where is that? The same thing, like, so he's got this little creature to just calm down.
Yeah.
And then he brought his buddies, who totally outnumbered you, like 3-1, and then you guys just drank and had a good time.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Where did he pull all these drinks?
I assume the explorers had some stuff with them. But same thing, like if you're, up 730 miles north of the North Pole, you better have some resources with you because you're not
That's
close to
true.
anything. So
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, you can't really drink any water. It's just kind of easier to probably drink alcohol because it purifies itself.
doesn't freeze.
That's also true.
Okay. I never thought of that.
I missed a little detail, not a big one, that they said here they ate fish, but these little people only ate the backs of the fish.
Oh.
That's the best part, Kenton.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's where all the bones are. No.
That doesn't make sense.
That's where they have spiky little fins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what did the reporter mean with the back of the fish?
Like, got the fish.
Like
Yeah,
the spine.
yeah.
The spine.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
where
don't
all the
know.
bones are.
But they didn't eat the belly of the fish. So.
Yeah, I don't think this guy was thinking straight.
Yeah.
Maybe he was on something when he was writing it. What do you guys think?
I think it's just yellow journalism. I think it's just fake news. Something fun to write about. The next one is a little more modern, right? We've talked about reports from the year 1000, pretty much. The 1500s, the 1700s, the early 1900s. This one is from 2017. In 2017, near Cambridge Bay, Nunavut, Anthony Roach and his girlfriend were visiting their grandmother. Now, Cambridge Bay has like 1,500 people in it. Very sparsely populated area. And they were even outside of Cambridge Bay. So they're in a very small town. They're further away. I think they're 10 kilometers away, so they're quite a distance away. And the grandmother wasn't home. They were just checking on the house or something like that. The story goes that Anthony went down to the river and caught some fish, caught a couple fish, and when they got him back to the cabin, because they had the grandmother's house, and then about 80 yards, in the report, 80 yards away was the house they were staying in. And when they got hang up the fish, they thought, it was a good day, big day. Let's have a nap. We're tired. So Anthony and his girlfriend go have a nap, and as they're sleeping, they get woken up with something walking on the front deck of the building. They hear first the screen door open up outside, and then the inside door open up into the cabin. Anthony looks up, thinking he's going to see his grandmother standing there, but instead what he sees is a little short person wearing seal skin pants and an orange sweater. And I don't know if he says something or yelps, but the girlfriend says something like, "There's an intruder," or something like that. And at that moment, both the doors slam shut, and they run up to go see what it is, thinking it was their grandmother or something, and there's no one around. And he says, if that was grandma can't run that fast to the other house, right? So whatever this was, went a different way.
Mm-hmm. Where was the grandma?
Know where she was.
She was eating
The fish?
eating alive.
No.
The fish. The back of the fish.
The only part of her missing was her back.
Oh my god.
So afterwards, Anthony and his girlfriend told his family about this, their brief encounter with something. And they said, oh, that's the Inugulik. And I don't know my Inuit words, right? So I spent some time trying to figure out what this Inugulik is. This is actually the question I posed on Reddit. Some people said, oh, Inugulik are just like us, the Inuit, but smaller. Mm-hmm. But they have, leaders, they have systems, trying to think, they have chiefs. That was the word. They have chiefs, they have systems. They're just like us, but the smaller people. Of the comments I got, a lot of them were like, yeah, that's just the thing we have. But then the one guy said it's fantasy.
Oh.
I'm like,
wow.
Okay, sure. All right. In a 2007 report out of the McGill University, they discussed the word Inugulik, talking about northern entities, and they called it a legendary dwarf. I'm thinking, if they had this term for little people in the north, and it's something like legendary dwarf, that could be what like a pygmy
Yeah.
that the Vikings encountered, or the bodies they found on Southampton Island, or that kind of thing.
It's interesting how all those people were saying that, hey, like, we know what this is, but the one guy was like, this fantasy.
Yeah. In 1875, Dr. Henry Rink wrote a book called Tales and Traditions of the Eskimo. That's what it's called. We have to use that word.
Yeah.
Where he talked about the Inugulik and said that these people had extraordinarily long lives and that they lived in burrows under the islands of the Arctic. So that kind of fits what they encountered in the North Pole. People living underground. He said that they bring with them when they travel 2 packs of clothing. One is just what they wear casually, and the other one is when they have to transform into human form.
Ooh.
And they have to carry more stuff because they're so small. They need to be bigger to carry more stuff, right?
Interesting.
So they can kind of change height.
I wish I could change my height whenever I want, pretty cool. And then I can become stronger too.
Wouldn't it be better just to change into like a horse
No!
or a bear?
Because I still want to be person when I'm doing these things. If I'm a horse, I'm a horse.
Well, Dylan actually makes a good point. So the Inugulik
Whatever.
can transform into people, but according to the McGill University report I was reading, they can also transform into animals.
Wow.
And at one point, they transformed into some seals and are making fun of a hunter for not being able to catch them.
Seems like a good use of that power.
That's amazing.
You can't get me. You suck.
That's kind of realistic, though. Like, if I could change, I would do that.
Oh, I'd make fun of people too. I'd
yeah.
be a crow making fun of them on the tree lines. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure I would.
That's amazing.
This last part, I kind of question it, but I wanted to say I didn't want to leave any stone not turned. So this says here, they're also endowed with the ability to travel extraordinarily long distances very quickly, presumably through the use of magic. Their weapon of choice is a sort of gun, which need only to be pointed at a target to kill it. They're said to be fond of dancing and playing magic tricks on each other. And then in 1921, I'm going to mispronounce this name, Knud Rasmussen wrote in his book Eskimo Folktales that because of an encounter with a dog, these people have a big fear of canines.
Okay.
There was the other story of that dog digging into the burrow.
Interesting, yeah.
And like that happened in 1911, reported in 1930, and this book was written in 1921.
Wow.
So maybe it's just a coincidence.
Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe that was the first time they saw a dog
Yeah.
and they were scared.
Like, what the heck is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a little bear kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We're done with this creature.
Yeah. We don't want to deal with dog ever again.
Ever again. No.
So there's a lot to unpack there. And a lot of, you could connect these stories and say, this is that, this caused this incident. But what are your thoughts on elves in the Canadian Arctic?
Very interesting and funny. Very funny. I just love the little banters that the stories have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I also like the one story where they thought that I just don't remember where they were, but they went to the grandma, and then they didn't know who it was, and then they told the family. Like, if I told my family that story, they'd be like, "Yeah, okay, Christina, just stop." Like, it was probably grandma, and my grandma has Alzheimer's, so they would probably say that to me. So yeah, that's funny that they were like, "Oh, actually, there is this creature." That's interesting to me.
Never mentioned it before, right? Like,
yeah.
Anthony was an adult then. It's like, oh, we forgot to tell you there's this guy, this little entity that hangs around your grandma's house. Yeah.
Yeah. This whole time we've known about this creature. Yeah. It's funny. I like it.
What do you think, Dylan?
Well, it's not like there hasn't been like recent discoveries of different kinds of humans. So everyone knows Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. But there's also confirmed found in Siberia. I know the Denisovans. You ever heard of that?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so that is found in a specific cave in Siberia, and they have categorized it as being a different kind of human, like Neanderthal and Homo sapien. And then I believe there was one found in the recent 10 years, I think, on an island of little hobbit people.
Oh, I think I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say, like, if they found it on an island in one place, that's totally plausible. Because I know the Denisovan thing is, like, the wide range, like, they say from, like, I think it's like 30,000 years to 500,000 years. Mm-hmm. But, totally plausible.
Yeah, and there's like different reports, right, from different kind of like time frames where it's like they're kind of talking about the same thing but not exactly, or the same area. They don't really know each other, or like knowing each other even, it's like, such a big chance, especially at that time. Like, now we have social media, it would be easier to know what somebody else is writing, but at that time, it wasn't that accessible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And all it takes is Christina to start digging holes and fucking crawling around in them, and everyone's gonna start believing it. So it's not that much work to make it true.
And maybe I've already done that.
There you go. Solved.
Strangely enough, I think we said there are definitely elves in the Arctic.
Yeah.
When I started thinking, that's absolute nonsense. That's not happening. This is the goofy one. But then I was like, that's some pretty convincing evidence. That's some pretty solid stuff.
So that guy that said it's fantasy, we have to find him and show him this episode. Because we've uncracked so much, right?
Uncracked.
No?
That works.
Okay.
It's almost like you had an egg and you put it back together.
Oh, we have cracked so much.
So I think we solved this one.
Thank you, Kenton.
As strange as it is, thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Kenton. It was amazing.
I know it was a long one. I know it was all over the place.
I really like that.
And I know I didn't know my notes as well, but I can't get quotes and dates off the top of my head. I have to actually look them up. So
That's okay.
let us know, dear Patreon listeners, what you thought of this episode, because it was a Christmas special, and it's a weird one. Really weird one. Now, I believe we have another Christmas one on the regular podcast. So if you're like, oh, I love this, I want more of this, check it out on the regular podcast as well. And go let us know what you think of that one.
Yeah, let us know. Leave us as many comments as possible and as much feedback as possible.
Please. Please. As always, my name is Kenton Young, and I'm sitting here with my co-hosts, Christina
Hello.
Kutsi.
Catsy. Yeah.
Hello.
No, it's Cootsy.
Christina Kutsi.
Hello.
And Dylan Fairman. And this is Unsolved Canadian Mysteries.